I received death threats from them. I received
Ah.
verbal, like when you say hello,
Ah.
tapos they will say bad words, yung
Ah.
ganon, and then sana mamatay ka na, yung mga ganon. Oh, there was one, who is this guy? Mo Twister or something? He wrote some horrible 4-letter word to describe me in Twitter at the time. And I think I got maybe 10,000 of similar because he was the one who did it. I don't think he'll remember now because he's supposedly politically on my side. But I remember. Someone called the newsroom and said I had died. May nakatanggap kaming tawag na namatay ka na daw.
Kasama na natin ang isang legend, isang music icon, Miss Lea Navarro.
Hello, Julio. So good to see you. Galing naman na nakapag-reunion tayo ng ganito.
Grabe. Isa kang idol ng maraming mga awit.
Hindi mo na ako ini-interview sa politika, di ba?
Active ka pa rin ba hanggang ngayon?
Oo naman.
Ayan.
Mamaya,
pag-usapan natin yan. But what are you busy with nowadays?
Well, right now, I'm back to singing. So, meron kaming mga shows this coming Christmas season. And I am performing, not just solo, pero I have time to spend with my good friends in OPM, like Ding Mercado, Pat Castillo, Celeste Legaspi, Bo Cerudo. So, yung grupo namin it's always nice because we're not always alone and we're all of a particular age where we can say we've done what we want to do. Now we can do whatever we want.
And wiser pa, no? Dami nyo nang alam.
I don't know about wiser sa buhay. Para sa akin, di ko alam kung wiser ako. Pero grateful naman ako na may experience na ako sa buhay, more or less, diba?
Yung pagbabalik mo sa pagkanta, recent lang ba yan? Or matagal mo nang ginagawa?
No, maybe only in the last year and a half. Dahil, alam mo, Julius, bago nun yung, I mentioned politics, diba? Before all that, syempre, I kind of disappeared because yung focus ko was more on good governance, politics, aktivista ako, di ba, nagrarally, kung ano-anong ginagawa sa politika, nangangampanya para sa mga kandidato. So, my focus changed. Mainly because I would never have reached or a level of popularity kung hindi dahil sa mga fans and mainly Filipinos, di ba? So, nung nag-change yung political scene dito sa atin, I decided to try and devote my time to that. That was the black and white movement time when you used to interview me as the executive director of that. That was panahon yan nila Gloria Arroyo, Hello Garci, yung mga ganon. Doon ako medyo
naglaylo ka na sa music, focus na on
Yeah. Tsaka mahirap kasi magiging blacklisted ka kapag opposition ka.
Pag-usapan natin mamaya yan, ha? Pero gusto malaman ng mga viewers natin, especially yung mga nasa abroad, na na-miss na nila yung mga golden age of OPM.
Yes.
Paano ka ba nagsimula sa pagkanta?
Oh, wow. Mami ko, si Nelda Navarro, was a singer and TV personality. Yung father ko was started his career in broadcasting with ABS-CBN and Henny Lopez. So medyo showbiz na yung parents ko. And nung maliit kami ng sister ko, palagi namin nakikita itong mga singers, right? Singers, actors, actresses. And so syempre, showbiz life looks very tempting and entertaining in a way. When I was mga 19 years old, in the year of our Lord, I don't know na, Alice Reyes of the Ballet Philippines head noon sa CCP, and Nonong Pedero, yung composer and member of Gentle Rain, they put together a show with the lyrics of Venido Lumbera, Tales of the Manuvu. Ang unang-unang rock opera musical ballet sa CCP.
Okay.
And they asked me if I could take the role of first woman. And so, I had to beg my lola. Kasi my mother was already abroad na noon. Na, pwede ba, please? And, sabi niya, sige. And that started it. And then we met Vic Del Rosario for Viva, Black Gold. That started my career.
How long did it last, yung play na yun?
I think we did a month's worth, mga 1 or 2 months. Pero yun ang una kong sabak talagang, you know how some singers, they start in bars, they start doing mga lounge acts. I never did that. Naswerte lang
Theater
talaga
agad.
ako. Theater, CCP, biggest stage, you know, in the country. I knew nothing except to sing. That's all I wanted to do, to sing. Wala sa akin na maging famous, yung mga ganun.
Gusto mo na talaga kumanta?
Yes.
Saan ka kumakanta before that?
Sa bahay.
Bahay lang? Wala, hindi ka sumasali sa mga contest?
Wala talaga. Tapos yung sa family kasi namin, yung rule is you must be seen and you must be heard. Di ba may mga saying noon na children must be seen and not heard. Pero iba sa family namin, magulo kami, we like to sing, we like to So, it was natural. Parang natural.
Kasi nga yung mom mo, singer din, di ba?
Yes. She was a jazz singer and I would see singers like Pilita Corrales, Diana Cruz, tapos Tirso Cruz in the next generation, yung mga gano'n na. And then before I knew it, when I was singing already, I got to sing with them. No, and then I got to sing with what are now known as our OPM singers, who are people in my, performers in my generation.
Pagpasok mo sa music scene, after that theater experience, ano yun? Ano yung nangyari?
Mga TV guestings kay Ariel Ureta, yung, I did a hosting, co-host kami ni Ariel sa Channel 4, The Morning Show. Alas 5 ng umaga.
Wow.
Bago ako papasok sa eskwelahan. Kami ni Bibes Orteza nandun. My gosh, Ariel Ureta. I would read the news. Ako daw.
Morning show host kayo noon?
It's called The Morning Show. At kami yung host.
May traffic na ba noon? Anong panahon na yan? Yung ganyan panahon?
Yes!
There's traffic na.
We would read the headlines. Kakatawa yun eh. Kasi, si Lica Benitez, yung writer, tsaka si Tats Rehante Manahan, ang asawa ni Johnny Manahan. Magkakat sila sa newspaper. Tapos ididikit nila sa yung white band, sa coupon band, para lang tingnan na format, pero I'm reading the... Walang teleprompter. Walang teleprompter. Of course not. Kung may teleprompter, ang tawag namin doon, idiot board.
Idiot board.
Yung Manila paper, na malalaki yung sulat. Yeah, that was good. That was fun. And then, eventually, nag-graduate si Ariel. Parang paborito ako i-guest nila Ariel eh. Sa Channel 2 naman noon by then. I think yung Ariel Contina. And then, different TV shows, I would guest. Mainly guesting, right? Joe Quirino.
Walang singing dyan?
No, singing.
Kumakanta ka na niyan?
Oo.
Pero wala ka pang hit song?
Nagre-record na ako noon.
Meron na recording.
So, after Tales of the Manuvu, na-meet nga namin si Vic Del Rosario ng Black Gold. At the time, may Black Gold pa, hindi pa Viva. Vicor Black Gold ang tawag doon. So, I got into a contract with them. And then, I eventually did 2 albums. Yung unang album, doon yung mga kanta na Kailangan Kita, tapos Ang Pag-ibig Kong Ito, Ligaw Tingin. These are the songs that came out around 1978.
First album, yeah?
First album. I only did 2 in the end. Kasi there's my feeling about it. I loved singing, But I like live singing better than recording. Kasi in recording, at that time, walang auto-tune. Ang tinatawag nilang auto-tune ngayon na pwede kang pumasok, kanta ka lang lahat, disintonado ka at everything. Tapos gagandahan nila, di ba? At that time, you have to do it again and again and again to perfect your performance on tape, right?
Okay.
Which will eventually become an album, a record. But I like live performance. Yun talaga. I like singing, I like dancing, talking to people in the audience. Ganon talaga yung forte ko.
Yung Isang Mundo, Isang Awit, was that included in that album?
May stand-alone story yan. Kasi si Nonong Pedero submitted a song for the 3rd Metro Manila Popular Music Festival. And Isang Mundo, Isang Awit became a finalist. And he asked me to sing it. And we performed it at the festival in 79. Wow. I mean, even I don't care. Yung feeling ko pag Gen Z ako eh. Medyo too far to think about. So we joined it. It was in Folk Arts Theater. And it won the grand prize.
Wow.
Because it's a song about universal love. Announced it, and I was so shocked, no? So shocked na nagustuhan nilang itong 2.5-minute song that just has mga I love you in different languages.
Oh, I remember that song.
Yes.
Kinakanta sa school namin yan.
Alam mo, ganun yun. Hanggang, I think the reason why may mga bata na alam nila ngayon, ginagamit nila as an international, parang UN Day. Pag United Nations Day sa iba't ibang mga eskwelahan dito, ginagamit nila as a song para alam na, how do you say I love you in different languages?
How do you feel na ganoon pa rin hanggang ngayon eh? Alam pa rin ng mga tao yung song na yun?
At the time, Julius, hindi ko alam na that would ever happen. No? So now, looking back, I'm so grateful. Hindi lang doon sa kantang yan, pero lahat ng mga nagustuhan kanta, yung mga Kailangan Kita, yung Ang Pag-ibig Kong Ito, yung these are gifts. I consider them gifts. I consider them blessings in life. And I'm glad that I made people happy when, when they listen to these songs.
Yeah.
Or maybe sad, kasi may mga Ang Pag-ibig Kong Ito na napaka di ba? Magabagbag ng dami ng kanta.
Alin dyan yung pinakauna mong hit sa mga songs na yan?
Ang unang-unang hit, why are you asking about this?
Hindi yung Isang Mundo, Isang Awit. Definitely hindi yun. Hindi yun yung first.
No, that was not. I believe it was Kailangan Kita, ni George Canseco.
Kailangan Kita.
Yes.
Classic yan.
Classic yun. Ang tawag, hindi ko rin akalain na magiging standard ang tawag sa mga ilang mga kanta ko. No? Kailangan Kita was also another gift from George. Several, how do you say, yung mga versions, di ba? Si Britney Vera may version yan, ganon. But it seemed that they liked my interpretation. So, nagpapasalamat din ako, nagustuhan din nila.
Ang Pag-ibig Ko was a commercial hit.
Okay, Ang Pag-ibig Kong Ito was so hard to record. Kasi, okay, Carlos Agawa yon, composition ni Carlos yon. Yung style ni Carlos, gusto niya, ang baba-baba ng isang tono doon. Tapos biglang papataasin ka nung sa, di ba, ang pag-ibig, di ba, gumaganon yun. So, sabi ko,
intentional na gano'n.
Well, he really wrote it that way, right? But I think what drives the song more than the notes, yung lyrics. Kasi it's about lost love eh. It's about breaking up and maybe life should be better. The way I interpret it now, pag nagsho-show ako, is more, kasi I'm not a young girl anymore, so I can't talk about boyfriends, I can't talk, yung, parang hindi bagay, di ba? Weird yun. So I compare it to my love of my country. Na I
ganun
love
na.
my, di ba?
Ganun na.
If you listen to the lyrics, it can mean ganun
Like,
din, di ba?
anong parts ng lyrics mo?
Pag-ibig
Nag-struck
kong
sa'yo?
ito, luha ang tanging nakamit.
Buhat sa'yo.
Yun, oo, di ba?
Buhat sa'yo.
Ayun. Thank you. I'm sure they're singing it now. Yeah, so that's how I feel.
Masakit mahalin ang
Yes.
isang tao o
Yes.
isang bansa.
Yeah. Well, it's kabuuan, di ba? How you feel about your fellow Filipinos or your country.
Yeah.
How that's democracy. Kasi it's not what I want. It's what the majority wants. Ganon yun. And sometimes the choices of the majority can be very disappointing.
Yeah.
Kasi iba rin yung tingin mo. And I don't know kung dahil sa panahon, kung if this is something that the world goes through every few cycles, no, di ba? Every few generations, hindi ko rin alam yon. Pero grateful pa rin ako na nandito pa tayong lahat at na-experience natin yan.
Oo. At nakikita ka pa rin namin na kumakanta ng mga paborito nilang songs, di ba? Na kanilang kinalakihan ng mga awitin.
Oh my golly, sasabihin nga sa'yo, someone will come up to me and say, alam mo, ang pangalan ko, ganyan, Leah also. Kasi, favorite song ng parents ko yung mga kanta mo. Di ba? Di ba, don't you feel so humbled by ganon? Di ba?
Ano yung mga kwento mo na pwede i-share sa amin about yung pagiging popular mo ng time?
Okay. I think now, people equate their success to the things that they have, right? If they have a car, if they have a house. For me, the pinnacle of my popularity for me was when we would go to Raon, which is maybe a place
Quiapo?
sa Quiapo that people don't remember anymore. Pero nung panahon na yon sa Raon, doon ka magbibili ng 45s, di ba? At affordable kasi yon for most. So meron kaming tawag na store visit. So yung buong ng Raon na yan, pupunta ka to each stall, tapos magsasign ka ng autograph sa ganito kaliit na picture para ibigay ng doon.
Kasi wala pang mall nun, di ba?
Wala pang mall.
mall.
Walang mall. May konti-konti pero hindi ganun kapopular.
Record bar ang pinupuntahan
Record
mo.
bar. Yun! Ba't alam mo
bar.
yung term na yan?
Siyempre, naabutan ko yan.
Okay. So yun, pupunta ka doon. Wow, there was one time kaming dalawa ni Basil Valdez. Oh my God! The people, you couldn't see until the end. Tapos kailangan may mga bodyguard dito sa harap mo, sa likod mo, sa side mo. Kasi pinipinch ka ng ganyan. Tapos they try, di ba? Yung touching yun. Oh my gosh. Tapos pag namin, dahil sa pinipisil sa kurot, no? Nagkakasugat kami. So that for me was like the sign.
At madaming ganun, madaming beses na nangyari.
Yes. But now that I'm of a certain age, and I'm always just grateful. Some people will just, di ba si ka? Ganun yun. Si Leah Navarro ka, yung ganyan niya. Yeah, they still remember.
Yung iba naman, naalala ka because of politics. Diba?
Yes, mainly for
because
the
you were
younger.
very vocal di ba?
Yeah, younger
mga millennials.
kids, mga millennials, yes.
Yeah, naalala ka
yes, more for that than for my music.
Bakit dalawang album lang ginawa mo? Hindi ka na gumawa ulit?
Kasi ayoko ng recording.
Live kasi
diba?
gusto mo, no?
Live talaga gusto ko. I also love to travel. So there was a lot of time na nagta-travel ako to do shows sa iba't ibang mga bansa na may mga Pinoy. We did a lot of shows na gano'n.
Nag-ano ka ba? Nag-movies ka?
Ayun. Ayun.
Ano ngayon?
That's why I don't do movies. Kasi
Because?
I did only one movie.
Which is?
Rock
What title?
Baby Rock. Rock Baby
Oh,
Rock.
yeah. I remember that.
Diba?
Oh.
Vilma Santos, Junior Morales, VST and Company. Sino pa ba? So, yun. More or less, that's that.
Disco, mga disco days.
Disco days. You know, ano yun for time? I'm a stickler for time. When you tell me, call time is 6 a.m., normally in my life, 6 a.m. nandun ako. Basta walang aksidente, walang nangyari na snafu sa scheduling or anything. I didn't like waiting, Julius. Yung wala kang ginagawa, nakaganyan ka sa bombom, buong araw. I didn't enjoy that. I'd rather do theater na lang, di ba? Kung ganon. Nag-konting theater ako, that's better for me. Pero at saka iba kapag may camera and then, then you have to, it's different. Acting is different for me. And Loris Guillen, I went for a parang acting course, very short, not very long, few days lang. She told me I am too close, too private, and too afraid to express myself in front of a camera if it's talking.
So
singing, not a problem.
But talking,
like when you're doing
dialogues.
lines, dialogue, I can do it sa theater. Pero pag may camera, may nangyayari may gumaganyan.
Hindi kaya dahil hindi mo naman talaga pinursue yung
Yeah,
career na yun.
yeah,
Kaya
I
hindi
guess,
na-develop yun
maybe.
sa'yo.
It's not a hilig. Kasi kailangan i-love mo muna yung mga ganyan, di ba? You have to love what you're doing. And I didn't love it very much.
So that was the first and the last.
Yes. I did another one, mga guesting, yung bigla kang papasok sa musical. Cameo, nakakanta ka ng isang kanta, tapos wala na. Di ba? Pero yung mga drama-drama.
Pero TV shows, tuloy-tuloy lang yun.
Oo, TV shows. Pag I had Basil Lia side by side with Basil Valdez. We used to have a TV show, Channel 9. Eventually, I had my own, called Lia lang, directed by Mitos Villarreal. And I love TV more. Kung tutuusin mo, mas kaya ko TV. Mas enjoy ako sa TV kaysa sa movies.
As yourself?
Yes,
not
as myself,
else.
not playing any. You're right. Yeah.
It's,
I guess that's easier.
So nagtuloy-tuloy lang yan yung career mo sa TV?
Yeah, and then in 1988, 1990 to be exact actually, I thought I was going to get married. I didn't. And I ended up going to live in Toronto, Canada with my family. My mother, my sister were already there. My stepfather was there. So I spent most of the 90s, if not all of it, in Canada. Never became a Canadian citizen, although I was an immigrant. Why did I not become a citizen? Is because I love my country so much. At the time, wala pang dual citizenship noon. Kung mag-pledge ka, kailangan you have to turn your back on your birth country. And I couldn't do that because I went through EDSA. I went through EDSA 86. I experienced all 4 days. And, the feeling of getting back your freedoms and democracy overtook everything else in my life.
How many years did you stay in Canada?
Almost 10.
Tagal din, 10 years.
Oo. And then when I came back here to perform and sing again in shows, that was the time na retro was very popular. Yung 70s, the way it is again now, but at that time, 20 years ago, that was very... But then we were overtaken again by politics. So it seems yung timing ko, laging may...
may something.
Yeah, may something. Yun.
I don't know if you want to answer, pero anong reason ba't hindi kayo nagkatuluyan nung iyong fiancé?
It's difficult when you have a long-distance relationship because he was German. Foreigner. The cultural differences are not the problem. It's the way you are with an individual in the end. And it seemed na hindi pala kami kasi nagka-long distance kami for over the year. Yung you'll see each other sporadically, di ba? Yung sulat-sulat, it's different pag nandun na kayo. Different. So, I called my mom and I said to her, I don't want to get into a situation just because people expect me to. Di ba? Better to be true to yourself,
makatotoo.
Yun, makatotoo sa sarili mo.
Oh.
And so I told him it's not gonna work out. And then I told my mom, I can go back to the Philippines, continue my singing, right? And then my mom said, well, you also have the option here. And, I wanted to be with my family. So that's how I ended up.
Wala ka naging boyfriend sa showbiz?
No, isa lang. Pero, will we really mention?
If you don't want to, it's okay. Pero,
no.
Pero
It's
parang may
okay.
idea ako.
You know that.
Parang may idea ako.
May idea ka ba? Ako rin, may idea ako. No, the thing about Philippine showbiz, especially at that time, so I don't know kung pareho pa rin hanggang ngayon, ila-love team ka eh.
Yes,
Di ba? Yung
yes,
ila-love team.
yes.
So yung una kong love team, si Basil Valdez. Kasi syempre, nagkakantahan kami. Yun ang plano nung ano. Tapos pumasok dito itong si Matranillo, di ba? Do you know, up to this day, people say, sana nagkatuluyan kayo. Life's not like that. Di ba? Real life is not like that. If you want to live a fantasy life, then that's the way. But it's different. It doesn't work out with all. For you and Tintin, it probably did because you worked together,
Yes.
right? Yeah, that's different. And it doesn't happen to everyone. So it didn't happen to us. Although a lot of people who already have grandchildren keep talking about it. So now, and I said,
I'm sure by now after this,
nag-move on na ako.
by now may mga nag-ano din,
I'm sure. Suffice it to say that things just didn't work out. Diba? I mean, like, why beat a dead horse if you can't live? And I also thought that, maybe it is God's will, right? That I be a good aunt, that I be a good friend, to my nephews and nieces, and not have kids of my own or have a marriage. I never got married.
You never got married?
Never got married. Because I always also believed that if I were gonna have children, I have to get married first. Pero ayata, maraming lalaking takot sa akin.
Talaga? Kahit nasa Canada ka na? Walang ano?
No, nagka-boyfriend din ako doon, but nothing really serious. You know what I loved about living in Canada, though? Kasi nung umalis ako dito, star. Diba? Over there, I learned what real life, which a lot of people in showbiz here don't still live, right? You learn how to shop on your own, grocery on your own, take a cab, take a subway, get a regular job, get a weekly paycheck, di ba? Pay your taxes. Yung mga ganun ba?
Ano naging work mo ron?
Marami.
Like?
So, mainly for my family, my mom and my stepdad had an advertising agency. And my sister and I, who was younger than me, we worked for them. Right? So I started out as a receptionist because my mom said, you cannot be executive, ha? Ganon din. You have to learn, right? Especially if you're foreign and then you go to another country and, thank God everyone spoke English and I spoke different if you were in Europe or Middle East or somewhere. So I was a receptionist and then I became secretary, then I became an executive assistant. And then my stepfather decided that he loved car racing. So we went into Formula Atlantic car racing, which is very similar to Formula One. And so I became part of the team. But nobody knew who I was. No, it was not...
Saka konti lang Pinoy noon, nung time na yun, sa Canada.
Marami
rin, pero hindi ka nila kilala.
Marami na. Yung nature kasi nung business ng advertising, multicultural advertising ginagawa namin, hindi kami masyadong babad, let's say in the Filipino community. It was a very open with all kinds. Siyempre, paminsan-minsan, yung friends ko will say, mag-show tayo. Kasi they would know. In fact, there was one time in the middle of the mid-90s, si Kuya Germs, sa Channel 7 to, no? Did the very first satellite of Filipinos living in California. Yung OFW will see their family members sa studio ng GMA7. Yung may mga ganon. So I was part of that. Nag-host ako doon. So from California yan. So we would do things like that. No? Very rarely. But mainly life was regular life. Ordinary. I love that. Normal.
Mas gusto mo yung ganong life. Hindi mo na-miss yung showbiz.
Ang dami kong na-learn.
Hindi mo na-miss yung adulation ng fans, yung popularity. Walang gano'n.
Wala. Baka kasi seamless and maybe yung upbringing ko or something, it's not, hindi kami ganyan in the family. We were more like, live a good life, don't sweat the small stuff, and always remember where you came from. Always look behind. My lola used to say, always look behind you kasi there's always someone there waiting to take your place. Which is true. There's always somebody younger, better looking, di ba? Different voice, better voice, whatever. So you have to learn. You stay within your, and ego, you cannot perform kung wala kang ego. Kailangan malaki-laki yung ego mo for you to stand in front of thousands of people or whatever. Or 10 people who are and perform and sing and give your heart. Diba?
Yeah. So ang reason kung ba't ka nagpunta ng Canada is just to join your family.
Yes.
And to quit showbiz na because ayaw na.
Correct. I wanted something different in life. But when I came back here, at the end of the 1990s, I realized that I loved singing, so I continued to sing. I stayed here na lang.
Hindi na bumalik ka na uli.
Hindi na ako bumalik doon. Na-understand naman ng mother ko, tsaka ng sister ko. And then I came back, it was because of the centennial. Remember the one of Ramos?
Yeah.
And then I said, things seem to be okay naman here eh.
Okay.
Diba? I mean, the things are okay. We didn't know what was going on. Well, wala pa tayong Teya Amari noon.
Wala pa.
And I'm sure it's gonna be Greek to many people watching, di ba? Ano yun? Wala pa yung ganon. And then, so eventually, naging mas political yung situation. I just seem to find myself drawn to these political...
Paano nag-start yan? Yung interest mo sa politics?
Not really politics, but governance.
Okay.
I've always believed that people in power should be benevolent towards the people there, and that they are servants first before they are leaders. No? So that's what I look for as qualities in public servants. I do not have the education or how do you say, the appetite to become a politician. But I like supporting people who I believe are blessed with the willingness to serve and serve honestly. Yun. So I gravitated towards people like Cory Aquino, then eventually Noynoy Aquino. I supported Mar Rojas. I supported Leni Robredo. These are the people I believe gave of themselves without corruption, without stealing, honestly, di ba? No baggage na mabigat na, di ba? I like that in people. That's yun ang yun ang parang impossible dream ko. So if I can help people who are running for public office, like Senator Laila De Lima, Kiko Pangilinan, Bam Aquino, Chel Diokno, Erin Tanya. These are my, I can consider them my friends. Okay? And I'm very blessed that they are my friends. But they are good people. So I like to support good people. And I've worked with some of them. So I know them, what people don't see.
Oo.
Yeah.
Kaya saka naalala ko, very vocal ka about issues. No?
Yeah.
You're very active in social media.
Yes.
Diba? Ito yung time na
I'm
nagsisimula
very
na lumakas.
maldita
diba?
in social
Oh,
media.
you're very
Yeah, and-
confrontational.
Yes,
diba?
I am very
Very
confrontational.
vocal.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Hindi
And
ka naapektuhan ng
I have paid for it with all the trolls and the
Yeah.
insults.
Ano
and
feeling mo kapag
death.
binabash ka nila?
I've had death threats.
Talaga?
Yes. I've death
Like,
threats.
what do they tell you?
Actually, my cousin, Senator Risa Ontiveros, and I suffered one person who was targeting both of us na Duterte supporter siya, galing siyang Mindanao. Pero naaresto na siya eventually. Kasi ang ginagawa niya, ibubulgar niya, I don't know how he found our phone numbers, pero binubulgar niya sa Facebook yung numbers. There was a time I was being called by people who had gotten my number from this guy dahil sa pinopost niya. I think maybe 200 or 300 people in one 24-hour period. Kahit tulog ako galing Saudi Arabia, kung saan-saan. Tapos yung mga mura, grabe. Yung I received death threats from them. I received verbal, like when you say hello, tapos they will say bad words, yung ganon, and then sana mamatay ka na, yung mga ganon. For a while, there was one, who is this guy? Mo Twister or something? He wrote some horrible 4-letter word to describe me in Twitter at the time. And I think I got maybe 10,000 of similar because he was the one who did it. I don't think he'll remember now because he's supposedly politically on my side. But I remember. So if I get a chance to see him, hello.
Yung awayan.
See, lumalabas na naman yung pagka-confrontational.
Away mo ba? Away mo?
I will have a discussion.
Oh, wow. Mo,
I think we should, may part yan ng ating Filipino psyche na we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, di ba? I used to be like that.
But now?
But I realized kung hindi mo rin sasabihin yung tunay na feeling mo, loser ka rin. 'Di ba? Hindi mo masasabi yung tunay na feelings mo, and then when you go home, disappointed ka, 'di ba? Pag ganun 'yun, pag hindi mo sinabi yung nasa loob ng puso mo. I would like to live like that, but not be naman. Hindi dahil gusto mo maging cruel, gusto mo maging bully. No, that's not the point. The point is to be honest.
Pero mostly mga messages and
It was mainly messages.
wala namang harassment from the government, parang
No. Someone called the newsroom and said I had died. So yung producer, yung isang desk, tumawag sa akin. At ganun pa siya, hello? Sabi ko, yes, hello? He goes, is this Miss Navarro? I said, yes, this is... ma'am, may nakatanggap kaming tawag na namatay ka na daw. Ganun ka, that's not a direct,
But they never came out with that item na napatay ka, walang gano'n.
No, I don't
It's
think
good that they're verifying, di ba? Checking kung
checking.
totoo. Nagpa-fact check sila.
Yes. So it didn't make the news because I was really alive naman. So naging parang crank call, di ba?
Pero at one time, parang na-persona non grata ka, di ba? Sa isang
Doon sa
province.
Jensan.
Ano story nun? Bakit?
What did I say?
About Mindanao, about an earthquake.
About Duterte. No.
Earthquake yun, di ba?
Retribution.
Oh, yes.
The word retribution. And I did apologize for it, I think. But I didn't take it back and say it was, like wrong or whatever. Yes, we say certain things. Some things we regret. And you have to be humble enough to admit that you made that mistake. But really, I have no desire to go to Jensan. because I can get panga here in the supermarket. So it's okay. I have no rancor. I have no hatred for the people of Jensan. You can't make people love you, Julius, if they don't want to. And I'm not begging for it.
Ang strong ng ng conviction mo sa ng
Yes, because
kasi yung iba, if nagsalita sila ng ganyan, and they get bashed, hindi na sila makatulog. Parang, kumaga, nagigilty sila sa mga ginagawa
pero
nila.
kasi wala naman akong sinasabi na hindi totoo. When I say that, this person is corrupt or what, you've seen it nandun na. Diba? When you say na yung isang tao ay honest or good, it's really there. I say that also. But I think you should not be afraid to look truth in the eye and say it and speak it. I think that's important. Hindi ako leftist.
Activist siguro, no?
Yeah, more activist. I do believe in some socialist, how do you say, socialist points na ganon. Dahil like in Canada, di ba? Socialized ang medicine nila.
Yeah.
And people get good health care. So these are little things that are surface lang. But I'm politically, I think, centrist with a little bit left of center. Yeah. Bilog ang mundo, di ba? So may oras na maganda ang buhay mo, bumabagsak ang buhay mo. Roller coaster na rin is maybe a better way to describe life, right? For many people. You're up, you're down, you go up again, all depends. And then you die. Di ba? But what you do before you die, if you realize that you need to do better, I hope, no? Di ba? I hope to be like that also na tama rin yung mga ginagawa ko. Parang yung feeling ko na baka tanggapin na lang ako sa purgatorio. Muna, nang sandali lang, tapos makaakyat na ako para samahin ko yung pamilya ko na nandyan na. Yeah.
Active ka pa rin ba sa social media?
I am, although I'm thinking of, I don't do Facebook anymore. Because Facebook, I mean, I'm there. It's a necessary evil. Because for some of the things that I do for politically, diba, you have to know what's going on, all that. But I don't like what Twitter is now. I hope Elon Musk sells to somebody else so I can return. So mas gusto ko ngayon yung Threads, yung mas maganda.
Sa Threads active ka?
Threads. Pero X pa rin, nandun din ako. Sa Twitter, nandun pa rin ako. Paminsan-minsan, pasundot-sundot. Pero ngayon, ang inaatupag ko talaga yung pagkanta.
Yun muna.
That's giving me a lot more
balik ka na uli.
Joy. Yes, joy.
Siguro before we go, anong gusto mo sabihin sa mga tagahanga mo na na-miss ka na ng matagal?
Wow. I'd like to say, na-miss ko rin kayo. And that I hope we see each other during one of, God willing, many shows that will happen, especially during the Christmas season. I'd also like to say maraming salamat na you still listen to my songs, that you like the songs.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julius.
Thank you for spending time with us today.
Thank you. It's good to see you after 30 years.
Hindi naman. Ganun katagal tayo
we've
nakita.
known each other because of
many,
your
many
news
years,
and all
yeah.
that. Over 30 years.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, and my best to your better half.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you familiar with the brand, Hermes? Kung medyo newbie pa kayo dito sa brand na to at kung ano ng mga designs meron ng Hermes, take it away. Ted. Okay, Ted.
Hello guys, welcome here at Exquisite Manila. I will show you some Hermes models and leathers and hardwares that we have here in the shop. Let's start with the classic ones, which is a Birkin. So these Birkins, they have different sizes, no, Mamu? We have the size 35.
Yan naman pinakamalaki, 35?
No, may 40, may 50, may 55, but these are for traveling already, no? So this is ito yung usong-uso dati, yung unang sumikat ang Hermes dito sa Pilipinas. Size 35.
Julius and Tintin para sa pamilyang Pilipino would like to thank the following.
Pure Gold. Sa Pure Gold, always panalo.
David Salon. Whoever you are, whatever you do, David Salon brings out the best in you.
Raja Travel Corporation, with you on your journey.
Baby Co Wipes. Bida si baby sa alagang Baby Co Wipes. Cupid's Cologne Love Mist. To order, message tonybbabaw@gmail.com.
Enagic from Japan, Kangen Water Machine.
Goldmine Rice. From farm to market. Be a rice distributor to wholesalers, retailers, and consumers. Open for franchise.